As per the report, National Post reports that 20,000 plus Indian international students, they failed to register in their colleges after arriving in Canada. The Canadians raised concern of fraud. What happened to them? Whether they crossed over to US or are they still here in Canada? Because many of the colleges, their application of the asylum seeker is very high. International student who is here for studies is applying for a threat on him in his home country is very shocking. Then same-sex marriages applications are very high in males and females. Those trends are going on. So these are the shocking trends. We have become a country of laugh by the world that these things happening here. Our reputation has gone down as a Canada. So who takes that responsibility of this mess, and where are those 20,000 plus students?
It's collective responsibility. That number that you're quoting is a bit of a trailing indicator, but it is one of the reasons why we made a number of these policy adjustments and clamped down on the system in general, and ready to do more. But I've done two waves of clampdowns in the last little while. We've seen results where it has prevented a large number of instances of fraud. Verification letters are very important. There's a lot of responsibility, frankly, on the universities that are welcoming people to take responsibility for these people that are paying exorbitant fees just to show up in Canada. It doesn't make sense that if you're paying that much money, you suddenly turn your back when the person doesn't show up in your classroom, right? And that is Canadian state doesn't follow everyone's comings and goings. That's the reality. I don't track you. Just the conspiracy theorists think we track you guys. No, we don't, and that's the reality. I'm not being cavalier about this, but the reality is that they did get a visa. They were expected to go study, and for one reason or another, there's a large number of people that didn't do so. They may have abused of the ability to go work in whether it's underground or legitimately, and that's something I think we need to follow a little more closely. It isn't just the federal government, it's provincial governments, it's institutions that have perhaps even entertained false hope. People have paid a lot of money just to get in here, and then if they disappear, it's not right. You're expected to study, and if you're not, you shouldn't stay here. That's why some of the clampdown has been so important, to make sure that we are actually getting in legitimate students into this country, and I think we've seen that largely. I'm prepared to do more if need be, if I see this trend continuing. My sense is that it has dropped. Is it perfect? That I think remains to be seen. It's very difficult right now for even some of the top institutions that weren't doing all that much wrong. It's more difficult to recruit.